Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at Bill Willingham's Elementals, the Natural Order, from his amazing Comico series, The Elementals in the 80s, one of my favorite books of all time. Can't wait to show it to you, so make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit like. I'm going to cue the intro and I'll be right back.
FitzTroytv, comic book art critiques. Snark, sarcastic ways, representing geeky gaze. Aliens, comics rule the day. Hurry up and turn that page. Michael Fitz Troy.
Alright, so here we go. Like I said, Elementals is one of my favorite books. I love this. Comico, the comic book company, defunct. They only lasted about 5 years, but it's the first indie books I've probably read outside of Marvel and DC. I was instantly drawn to the beautiful art by Bill Willingham. It's a little reminiscent of John Byrne, one of my all-time favorites, as you know if you watch my channel. Bill Willingham is widely known for writing fables, and a lot of people don't even know that he's an artist. He did do some art for DC, like on Green Lantern and stuff, but and an issue of The Outsiders that I covered in another video. But this is Elementals. I thought this was like a really cool series. It's kind of simple. They're kind of like, you know, just based on the elements, and it's a 4-member team, but there's a lot of intrigue and great art. This is a trade paperback collecting their first appearance from the Justice Machine Annual, and then the first 5 issues of their series. So let's get into it. I mean, this art is just beautiful. I wish that Bill Willingham, I don't know why he quit doing art. Maybe he just didn't like the monthly grind. I mean, it is such a grind. A lot of writers did want to be artists or started out as artists and somehow just make the transition to writing, and he's definitely one of those. So, no credits here. Oh, well, maybe they're inside. But Bill Willingham is the writer and penciler. Rich Rankin is the inker. I'm not sure if he inked this. But it's very cool, very classic superheroes. I love this art. It is so amazing. Here's the Elementals. Morningstar, Fathom, before Michael Turner's Fathom. Monolith and Airwave. And they're, you know, air, fire, air, earth, and water. I mean, this is Fathom's first costume. It's a little silly with a skirt, belted skirt and boots. She would change costumes pretty quickly to like a very cool costume. I always loved her, you know, green skin. She kind of reminded me of She-Hulk. She-Hulk was kind of big at the time, so I thought, I mean, it is a little rip-offy, but not really. See what I mean about the John Byrne influence? It's just very classic, like, comic book superhero art, and it just looks, I like the openness and like the expressive faces and the big eyes, just slightly cartoony, but not so cartoony that it's like a Bruce Timm kind of thing. But I love it just the same. And these, their foes were so cool. Shapeshift. I love the design of her costume. Simple yet effective. But Elementals lasted quite a while. It kind of did go off on like some weird tangents in a way. And I definitely did not like it as much when, what do you call it? I think this is the first issue of the regular series. But when Bill Willingham stopped doing the art, I was like, not the happiest person alive, but I still did continue to read the book. And it is just so good. I love it. Like, if you guys like superhero teams and like good team dynamics and just like fun, traditional, classic comic book superheroes, this is the book for you. But in a way, it's so funny. I remember like ripping off so much of this art and just like being inspired so greatly as a young artist. And this team is just, he creates really cool, fun villains for them to fight. And I just really loved it. What a great shot there. I don't know, just his page layouts and his panels. His storytelling is really, really good. So it's no shock that he's such a tremendous writer. I mean, he obviously has the skills and, you know, tools to tell effective comic book stories. The Destroyers, what a great team. Behemoth, this creepy pink Behemoth. Chrysalis, Ratman, Annihilator, Electrocutioner, and Shapeshifter, my bad. I like how the S goes through her boob like that. Very cool designs. Very classic comic book. I love this page here. I don't know why I always love these sort of images of the characters, like, being held prisoner. And, you know, whether they're, like, in stasis or, like, glass tubes or something like that. I always just thought it was a fun, like, very tried and true sort of comic book trope in a way. Saker, their enemy. And I mean, young, naked, 12-year-old Tommy put some clothes on for the love of God. Here's the real elementals that I think they got their powers from. Love this. This is like one of my favorite pages of all time. I think that's such a beautiful image of Fathom. I think Rich Rankin was such a great anchor for Bill Willingham, and this book is just gorgeous. Another great shot of Fathom. She was totally my favorite character. It's weird because I'm always drawn to the blonde, and you would think Morningstar would have been my favorite character, but nope, it was Becky. Fathom Becky. Oh, and then see, it's so funny. You can tell this is a different time because, like I said, what is he, 12, 14? And she's like, Tommy, I never realized what a cute little tuchus you had. And I don't think it's spelled the way tuchus is really spelled, but of course he's embarrassed because he's a child. And then they're racing the dolphins. I like that. And this is cool. See, this is what I love about, like, classic comic book superheroes is, like, their different powers and, you know, the way that they're used. Like, I feel like in modern superhero comic books, they kind of stand around and talk a lot. They go to the Met Gala. They have three-ways. They're just stupid. And here, it's like the writer is, like, trying to think of entertaining, interesting ways to show the characters using their powers because they do have powers for some reason or another. So maybe they should use them, right? Such great storytelling. This is just such beautiful art. I love this so much. Like, oh, Bill Willingham. I wish we had more Bill Willingham work in the world, but I feel like outside of the elementals, it's like very, like, scattered, hit or miss. I remember my brother was huge into, like, a, what do you call it? Dungeons and Dragons, and he had this book of paper that was all, like, hexagons, like, you know, like, instead of graph paper or line paper, like, it was all hexagons. And there was this great image on the cover drawn by Bill Willingham because he was working for that company at the time. And I've always been pretty adept at identifying comic book artists, and I still am. I'm sure fans of comic book art, I'm no enigma when it comes to that. But I remember being so excited to recognize one of my favorite artists, like, in a different sort of element outside of comic books. But related in a way, you know. I mean, D&D is obviously sword and sorcery, kind of fantasy stuff. So, what a great page here. I love this so much. I mean, holy anatomy, Batman. Just, like, look at that. It's like, and this is why you should know how to draw anatomy. You need to know what that muscle looks like when he's sitting in that position. And this is why you should draw from figures. This is why you should draw from life. This is why you shouldn't just learn how to draw comic books from comics. Because I said so. And he kind of, I feel like, did he accidentally kill her? Oh no, he finds her dead. But still, just, like, he's so upset to, like, that she died. Even though they're in sort of, like, these life or death situation. I don't know. Good characterization. I mean, what? You wouldn't expect that from Bill Willingham. I remember issues 1 through 5 were like a complete story arc, and then it sort of went off from there. And I was there with bated breath because I love this book so much. And look how gorgeous this is. And this is still, you know, obviously before like really rendered like computer coloring and stuff. And maybe it's just because I'm a fan of old comics, or because I'm old and I've been around so long. And I just like that though. I just think it's fun. Like, I think that, like, if they were to reissue this, and I think it's like the reason you don't see new versions of this, or you don't see the elementals anymore, is because I think they're tied up in some sort of horrible, like, you know, copyright issue or something. I think Bill may no longer have the rights to them, and it's such a sad shame. I would definitely love to see, like, an omnibus of this stuff, because it is just so gorgeous, like a new version. Although, great condition on this. I had all the original, like, single issues, and I'm hoping I do still somewhere. I've always wanted this trade paperback, and I don't know why I've never gotten it. Maybe just because I felt like I had the individual issues, but I've been dying to cover this for the show. I don't know where my individual issues are now, so I went ahead and got the trade. Initially $10.95 for like 6 issues. Imagine that, guys. Another great double page spread. Like, so cool. Like, is this fun or what? Do you not just want to read the hell out of this? It's such a great book. Clearly, he had a soft spot in his heart for Fathom, because there's so many, like, money shots at her throughout the series. It's great. But they're all great characters. I really did love all of them individually. I love the villains. I just, hands down, I think I do gravitate more towards group books. Like, I just did Batman and the Outsiders. I love the X-Men, the Teen Titans, Alpha Flight, one of my all-time favorites. So, I'm just here for it, you guys. I just love comic books. I love comic book art. I love Bill Willingham. And I think it was kind of Rich Rankin, because it was kind of his style, but he does great, like, cross-hatching, and just so cool. Like I said, reminds me a little bit of Byrne, but it's definitely his own style. Seeing a little, maybe perhaps Alan Davis in here too. But, you know, they're all kind of around the same time, so you can't exactly say that one is, like, copying off the other. Although Bill Willingham may have been influenced by Byrne. I should research that, perhaps. But I don't know. Just such great art. I love this. This made me, you know, I have to say, like, I feel like his art is so compelling and cool. It made me not just want to draw, like, superheroes. It made me want to draw things like light towers and lighthouses and just, like, things like that. Really just beautiful art. Ratman, he was always a fun character. I love this. I think she escapes by going down the toilet, and we don't actually get to see it, but we know it happens, so that's kind of fun and cool. See, they were prisoners, and she befriended him. Savvy that way, Becky Fathom. Yep, she just disappeared through the toilet. So cool, and I love it. I was just thinking about this recently. Someone was saying that Wonder Woman's costume was stupid because it had a W on it. Like, all the superheroes, since Superman has an S on his chest. So it's like being part of a sports team or something. You just have your initials on your chest. I need an MF t-shirt, guys. Don't you think? I always love this too. What a beautiful, I mean, how epic is that? Like, this huge tidal wave, and I just love the way it's colored. I hope the colorist is mentioned in here somewhere. I'd like to give them credit, because comic books really are a team effort, unless you're pulling all the weight yourself, which a lot of people do, especially now. Like, I feel like it was such a team effort to make a monthly book. You know, you had to have a penciler, a writer, an inker, a colorist, and a letterer. And a lot of artists now, especially because it's all digital and you can do everything, you know, kind of do it. And that's kind of cool too, because, like, one vision, one voice. But there's something to be said about collaboration. I know that I've had a lot of happy collaborations and just like really thought the results were cool. I mean, are you guys loving this? I'm loving this. It's so underrated. Such a great book. The people who do know this book absolutely love it. So be in the know. Get on the tip. Do it. Another great splash page. Tower, lighthouse, whatever. Waves crashing on rocks. All the elements happening within the elementals. Saker versus airwave. Great butt. Love that. I just love things like this, like artistic choices, like for him to draw like him flying, but you can't really see his legs because he's flying so fast. That's how you create motion in comics and make comic books come alive. And it's just so great. Like his great facial expressions. I mean, he really is such a great artist. I love Bill Willingham. So, okay. Keith Wilson letters, Keith Wilson letters, Keith Wilson, Kurt Mauser colors, I remember him. Janet Jackson colors, I remember her. Bill Willingham, oh, it's funny, some letters by Bill Willingham too. I do remember reading in an interview that like he had to kind of do a lot of stuff at certain points. And you know, when you're doing indie stuff and need to make it happen, you do what you gotta do. One of my favorite books of all times. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm so happy I got to share this with you. I love this book. I want to go out and find my collection and read everything from the elementals. Leave in the comments if you're aware of like anything outside of the Outsiders or Green Lantern that Bill Willingham may have penciled. I would love to find more stuff by him if you guys know. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. If you are, thank you so much. I love you guys for watching and sharing my comic book history and love with me. Hit like, share my content, and I'll bring you some more soon. Thanks, guys.